Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is December the 8th, 2022, and today the topic is let me show you. Well, once again, my apologies. I know it's after time. It's like 6:30 or whatever when I started this live today, but I'm here. I'm here to give you all the juice this morning. And to God be the glory for all things. It wasn't because I slept late or anything like that. Coincidentally, I actually kept waking up. I kept waking up at a variety of times. Um, Unfortunately, I don't remember all of the times that I was waking up specifically, but the ones that I did remember and looked, I did look up those this morning, and that is pretty much where today's topic come from. Even though your girl was a little bit all over the place mentally, probably distracted, and everything like that. But the Lord, I guess settled in my spirit about what He wanted me to share this morning, and so here it is. And again, it's entitled "Let Me Show You." And yeah, I mean, I guess we should go ahead and get into it, y'all, because I guess he got something he want to show us on today. So, one of the times that I did wake up was 150, and so this is a verse that I came across, John 150. It says, Jesus answered and said unto him, because I said unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree. Believest thou? Thou shalt see greater things than these. So, yeah, in the midst of all my distractions and all the random things that my mom thought about this morning, this did stand out. Because, I mean, I guess more so the part about thou shalt see greater things than these. I guess it's the part that stood out to me the most. I mean, I did go a little bit deeper and read, the verses surrounding it and everything like that. And basically what's going on in this account is that I believe this was to Philip, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, and it was like Jesus was starting to gather his disciples, or people were starting to follow Jesus or whatever. And one of them went to go get Philip. And I guess when he came to meet him or whatever, he told him what he was doing before he got there. And I guess that helped him to believe. And this was Jesus's response to him. So yeah, that's what's going on and all of that. But let's keep going, y'all, because these verses are kind of sporadic, but I believe the Lord gonna bring them together like he always do. So then Daniel 10:1 stood out to me this morning as well. And it says, in the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed to Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar. And the thing was true, but the time appointed was long. And he understood the thing and had understanding of the vision. So this stood out to me for a variety of reasons. Because again, one of the times that I don't remember, I actually looked up the numbers in the Strongs, whatever. And if I'm not mistaken, those numbers led me to Belshazzar, which is spelled a little bit different than this, but still Belshazzar. And then there was something else. I wrote them all down in my notes, but I didn't write them down in these notes. So my apologies for that. But it was that and another word. I think it was like Persian coin or something like that. So by the time I came around and came across this verse right here, it really stood out because I was like, okay, I saw something about the Persian coin. The other word was very similar to Belshazzar. And so I don't know, it really just stood out to me this morning. And I guess what's standing out to me the most about it, aside of those things, is it's saying that a thing was revealed to Daniel. So again, we're talking about a vision, right? In my opinion here, a thing was revealed to Daniel, and it says this thing was true, but the time appointed was long, and he understood the thing and had understanding of the vision. This also stood out as well because yesterday, while your girl was out there hustling in the streets, I ended up listening to Pastor David Lynn and everything like that. And I'm telling you, the patience that that man has is just unmatched. Like I hadn't seen anything like it. Especially talking to people that are like so combative and everything like that. So that's one thing. But I noticed, like, I ended up listening to this like hour-long conversation that he was having with this gentleman about, I guess he's a Hebrew Israelite and whatnot, and the man wanted to claim that, I guess in some ways that the gospel message was only for the Israelites and not for anybody else. And obviously David Lynn was talking about what he is studying, and what I have seen is that this gospel message is for everybody and everything like that. So I guess that stood out because the vision that Daniel had is, the visions that they were talking about, like when it came about, the feet of brass, the eyes of fire, all of that type of stuff. And so, you guys can go deeper and read Daniel 10:22 through 21 for yourself. But yeah, verse 1 really stood out to me this morning. I guess also, in regards to having a vision, the Lord want to tell us something, he want to show us something. All right. So then Revelations 2:10 stood out to me as well. And it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you in prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation. In 10 days be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." Y'all, are we? Now, on one hand, I'm like, was kind of hesitant to write that down. But on the other hand, I mean, it stood out to me, so I was like, let me just go ahead and write it down anyway. But yeah, like, are we willing and ready to stand for God in truth and all these things, even if we're facing prison, even if we're facing death? Now, God says he's going to reward us for that if we are faithful, but I think the question mainly here is like, once God gives us the visions, right? Once God shows us whatever it is he wants to show us, right? And are we willing to stand on that? Are we willing to die for that? All the people that we are reading today in the Bible, that's what they did. I know that in the Go Deeper section is Habakkuk 2:2. And I think that's the one that says, write the vision to make it plain. That's what these gentlemen did. So God giving you a vision, God gives you, whatever it is that he's showing you. What are you going to do with what he's showing you? Yeah, I actually this morning, at one point I was kind of distracted, and I ended up watching. Well, I came across Allie and something she posted recently, and I shared it, and then I ended up watching some of the videos in the past and everything like that. And it's crazy how now a lot of the things that, again, my heart and mind was exposed to back in 2020 because of Ali, and also because of, other things as well. And, I've been trying to share those things and let those things be known, but it's very interesting that now things are circling back around and it's more in the mainstream. When it comes to this, again, talk about human trafficking and children trafficking and, crimes against humanity and, all the different things like, the Balenciaga photo shoot, and it just goes on and on and on. Right. And anyway, I guess I'm reminded of her in this moment as I sit here and share with you guys, because I want to say her recent post, she was saying, I guess people are asking her for names or something like that. And so I guess she gave a few names, but she's saying, before I give you more names, what are you going to do with the names that I've already given you? And so all things really do work together for the good, man. Even in the distractions, the Lord is speaking to me. The thing is, I feel like it's the same question being posed on us today. Like, with the visions and the things that God is showing you, what are you going to do with it? And are you willing to stand? And even if you face prison, are you willing to stand? Even if you face death, are you willing to stand? If you're not there, friend, I get it. I understand. Oh, like those seem like difficult uh, things to encounter, and everything like that. But again, well, one, the Lord tells us that I will give thee a crown of life, if we are faithful unto death. So that's one thing. I mean, that hopefully will encourage you and inspire you to build your faith, um, and be more bold. But then also, just understanding that at the end of the day, I don't know, that quote keeps coming to my mind right now, the one about like, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That type of thing. I'm gonna keep going here because I don't want to get too distracted here, but this stood out to me to share this morning as well. It's Acts 18:9. It says, "And the Lord said to Paul one night in a vision, do not be afraid, but go on speaking and do not be silent." So there you go, y'all. Even when we're facing adversity, even if we face whatever, the threats of prison, the threats of death, whatever the case is, we got to understand that, as we go deeper into the Bible, it shows us and it's telling us that, there's no need to be afraid of anything that anyone can do to us here. We should have more reverence for God, the one that can do something to both our body and soul. And for whatever reason, I mean, this is just my random observation, I feel like we don't, for whatever reason, we tend to just, I guess, put more weight on the things that we see versus the unseen and everything like that. But that's the juice today. This is all I have to share. I mean, there's some things in the Go Deeper section that you guys can peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But what I'm receiving today is that the Lord wants to show us something. I mean, even today, well, I'll share. Okay, well, let me show you this now. So as I was writing down the verses and I was typing them for the notes and whatnot, I noticed that I kept seeing 210 210 da 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 da. And I ended up adding them up. At least the ones that was in the Go Deeper section, I think. I ended up adding those up and I got 64. And I looked in the Strongs. I know this is crazy, y'all, but I'm just telling y'all what happened. I looked into the Strong's Concordance, and 64 was talking about the two different words or the two different things that came up was to hunt was one, and then the other one was like a vineyard. And so I started looking up verses centered around to hunt a vineyard, and it was pointing out about, Lord, you better, okay. So it was pointing out about the basically like the fig tree that didn't bear fruit, the grapes that he was expecting grapes but got wild grapes, things like that, and what happened to those. Y'all can look it up for yourself to see what he did with those or whatever, but it pretty much goes around to the fact that, like, if you're not bearing fruit, then you serve no purpose, right? I guess to the kingdom, to God, whatever the case is. And so yeah, we got to be about our Father's business. That's what I'm receiving on today. If I needed any more confirmation, here go the Bible verses today, y'all. It's Romans 12:2. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good, or excuse me, what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." So friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I saw there's a few people that's tuned in. Shout out to my cuzzo. Good morning, cuzzo. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that you enjoyed the juice this morning. To God be the glory for all things. I'm saying, like, it's crazy how this stuff comes to me. But I think, again, the more that we dedicate time to the Lord and stuff, that he's going to speak to all of us. And I believe he wants to speak to all of us. And I believe he wants to show us something like this thing here. And in some ways, I'm quoting NJ because he says this all the time. Let me show you. Let me show you. But I mean, yeah, I think God wants to show us something, and he wants us to do something with what he shows us. So that's it, y'all. That's the juice this morning. My cousin said she enjoyed the juice. So thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the juice this morning. Like I said, I hope it all encourages you and inspires you, y'all. And I hope y'all have a great, great day. Look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Love you, cuzzo. Bye, y'all.